1 abaft in or behind the stern of a ship, 2 abandoned to leave, 2 3 a base cause to feel shame, 4 abashed feeling or cause to feel uneasy and self, 5 abatement lessening of something. 6 a bodice line of defense consisting of a barrier of felled or live trees with branches, sharpened or with barbed wire entwined, toward the enemy. 7 abattoir place where animals are slaughtered for consumption as food to. 8 abbot the superior of monastery. 9 abdicate to give up the position of being king queen. 4 10 abduct to take somebody away illegally, especially using force. 3 11 aberration fact, an action or a way of behaving that is not usual, a disorder in one's mental state. 2 12 abhor to hate, to detest. 13 abject terrible and without hope. 14 ableism discrimination in favor of the able. 15 ablution the ritual washing of a priest's hands or of sacred vessels. 16 aboard on or onto ship, plane, bus or train. 17 abode place where somebody lives. 18 abolish formally put an end to system, practice, or institution. 5 19 abominable unequivocally detestable. 20 abort to end or cause to end before something has been completed, because it is likely to fail. 21 abortionist a person who should be a doctor who terminates pregnancies. 22 abridge to shorten a piece of writing without losing the sense. 23 abridgment shortened version of a written work. 24 abrogate to officially end law, an agreement, etc. 25 absconders fugitive who runs away and hides to avoid arrest, prosecution. 26 absenteeism habitual absence from work. 27 absolute one who is perfect, complete, free from imperfection. 28 abstain to choose not to use vote, either in favor of, against something. 29 abstruse difficult to comprehend, obscure. 30 absurd, completely ridiculous. 31 abundance large quantity that is more than enough. 32 academicism orthodoxy of a scholastic variety. 33 academy school, college for special training. 34 accolade praise, an award for an achievement that people admire. 35 accomplice person who helps another to commit a crime, to do something wrong. 36 accord sympathetic compatibility. 37 accountability responsibility to someone or for some activity. 38 accountant, a person whose profession is to keep accounts. 39 accredit, give credit for. 40 accretive, characterized by gradual growth or increase. 41 accrual, the act of accumulating. 42 accuser person, who says that somebody has done something wrong, is guilty of something. 43 acerb, harsh or corrosive in tone. 44 acetic, relating to or containing acetic acid. 45 acoustic, study of sound. 46 acquaint, to make somebody yourself familiar with, aware of something. 47 acquiesce, to accept something without arguing. 48 acquit, to decide and state officially in court that somebody is not guilty of a crime. 49 acquittal, an official decision in court that person is not guilty of a crime. 50 acrid, harsh or corrosive in tone. 51 acrimonious, angry and full of strong bitter feelings and words. Acrobat, an entertainer who performs difficult acts such as balancing on high ropes at a circus. An athlete who performs acts that need skill, agility and coordination. 53 acronym, word formed from the first letters of the words that make up the name of something. 54 acrophobia, fear of great heights. 55 acrostic poem, other piece of writing in which particular letters in each line, usually first letters, can be read downwards to form a word, words spelling out, e.g. candy, crunchy and chewy, awesome, nice and sweet, delightful and delicious, yummy, treat. 56 act, to do something, to behave in particular way, to perform a part in a play, film, function. 57 activist, advocating or engaged in activism. 58 actuary, someone versed in the collection and interpretation of numerical data, especially someone who uses statistics to calculate insurance premiums. The ability to make good judgments and take quick decisions. 60 ad lib, not prepared, practiced. 61 adamant, determined, not to change your mind. 62 adapt, to adjust, to modify. 63 addict, person who is very interested in something and spends a lot of his free time in it, a person who is unable to stop taking harmful drugs. Addiction. Roman law. A formal award by a magistrate of a thing or person to another person, as the award of a debtor to his creditor. 65 adept, person who is good at doing something that is quite difficult too. 66 adhere, to stick firmly to. 67 adherent, sticking fast. 68 adjoins, be next to and joined with a building, room, or piece of land. 69 adjunct, thing that is added, attached to something larger, more important. Administrate, work in an administrative capacity. 71 admire, feel admiration for. 72 adolescent, in the process of developing from child into an adult. 3 Adonis, an extremely young man. 74 adoration, the worship given to God alone. Adrenaline, a catecholamine secreted by the adrenal medulla in response to stress. Trade name, adrenaline. 76 adroit, quick, or skillful, or adept in action, or thought. 77 adulations, admiration, and praise that is greater than is necessary. 78 adult, of animals. Fully developed. 79 advantaged, being in good social, financial situation. 80 adventitious, associated by chance, and not an integral part. 81 adventurism. Recklessness in politics or foreign affairs. 82 adversary, someone who offers opposition. 83 advisory, giving advice. 84 advocacy, active support of an idea, a cause. 85 advocate, person who speaks, supports in favor of somebody, of a public plan, action, a person who defends somebody in court. 86 aegis, kindly endorsement and guidance. 87 aeon, major division of time, divided into eras. 88 aerial, growing, existing in air. 3 89 aerophobia, abnormal or excessive fear of drafts or of fresh air, fear or strong dislike of flying. Concerned with beauty or the appreciation of beauty. 2 9 aesthetics, the branch of philosophy that studies the principles of beauty, especially in art. 92 affable, pleasant, friendly, and easy to talk to. 493 affair, a usually secretive or illicit sexual relationship. 94 affidavit, written statement that you swear is true, and that can be used as evidence in court. 95 affinity, close connection, relationship. 96 affliction, a cause of great suffering and distress. 97 affluent, having an abundant supply of money or possessions of value. 98 ageist, showing prejudice on the grounds of a person's age. 99 agenda, list of items to be discussed at a meeting. 5 100 agglomerative, clustered together but not coherent. 101 aggrandize, increase. 102 aggravation, the fact of an illness, bad situation being made worse. 103 aggressive, angry, and behaving in threatening way. 104 aggressor, person, country, etc. that attacks first. 105 agitate, to argue strongly for something you want, to make somebody feel angry, anxious, nervous. 106 agitation, worry, and anxiety that you show by behaving in nervous way. 2 107 agnostic, person who doubts truth of religion. 3 108 agony, extreme physical, mental pain. 109 agoraphobia, fear of being in public places where there are many other people. 110 agriculturist, an expert in agriculture, practice of farming, who gives advice to farmers. 111 agronomy, the application of soil and plant sciences to land management and crop production. 2 112 alacrity, eager and cheerful readiness. 113 alarmist, a person who alarms others needlessly. 114 albinism, the congenital absence of pigmentation in the eyes and skin and hair. 115 alchemist, one who was versed in the practice of alchemy, and who sought an elixir of life and a panacea and an alkahest and the philosopher's stone. 116 alcoholic person who regularly drinks too much alcohol and cannot easily stop drinking. 117 aleatory dependent on chance. 118 algophobia fear of pain. 119 algorithm computation with Arabic figures. 120 alien hostile, strange and frightening, different from what you are used to. 7. 121 alienation, the action of alienating. 122 alienism, the quality of being alien, an obsolete term for the study and treatment of mental illness. 123 alimony, the money that court orders somebody to pay regularly to his former wife, husband, when the marriage is ended. 124 125 allay, satisfy, thirst. 126 allege, report or maintain. 127 allegiance, duty, support, loyalty. 128 allegory, story, play, picture, etc., in which each character event is a symbol representing an idea, a quality, such as truth, evil, death, etc. 3. 129 alleviate, make pain easier to bear. 130 alliteration, the use of the same letter sound at the beginning of words that are close together. 2. 131 allude, make a more or less disguised reference to. 132 allure, the power to entice or attract through personal charm. 133 ally, person who helps and supports somebody in a difficult situation. Almanac book is published every year giving information for that year about a particular subject. Activity 2. 135 almighty, having complete power. 2. 136 aloof, reserved, indifferent. 137 alpinism, mountain climbing. 138 altar, a table or flat surface where offerings are made to a deity. 139 altitude, the height above sea level. 140 altruism, the quality of unselfish concern for the welfare of others. 141 altruist, someone who makes charitable donations intended to increase human well-being. 9. 142 altruistic, showing selfless concern. 143 alumnus, former male student of a school, college, university. 144 amalgamation, the combination of two, more of anything. 145 amateur, person who likes to take part in a sport, other activity for enjoyment, not as a job. 7. 146 amatory, expressive of or exciting sexual love or romance. 147 Amazon, a member of a legendary race of female warriors. 148 ambassador, a diplomatic representative in another country. 149 ambidextrous, able to use both the hands equally well. 4. 150 ambient, completely enveloping. 151 ambiguous, that can be understood in more than one way, not clearly defined or stated. 3. 152 ambit, an area in which something acts or operates or has power or control, the range of a supersonic jet. 153 ambitious, determined to be successful, rich, powerful, etc. 154 ambivalent, having or showing both good and bad feelings. To 155 ambivert, person who is both an introvert and an extrovert. 3. 156 ambrosia, something that is very pleasant to eat. 157 amenable, readily reacting to suggestions and influences. 158 amiable, disposed to please. 159 amiss, not functioning properly. 160 amity, a cordial disposition. 2. 161 ammeter, a meter that measures the flow of electrical current in amperes. 162 amnesia, medical condition in which somebody partly, completely loses his memory. 7. 163 amnesty, an official statement that allows people who have been put in prison for crimes against the state to go free. 6. 164 amoeba, very small living creature that consists of only one cell. 165 amoral, not following any moral rules and not caring about right, wrong. 3. 166 amorphous, having no definite form or distinct shape. 2. 167 amphibians, any animal that can live both on land and in water. A cold-blooded vertebrate typically living on land but breeding in water. 4. 168 amphibious able to live both on land and in water. 169 amputation, surgical removal of all or a part of a limb. 170 amputee, person who has had an arm, leg removed. 171 amusia, the inability to recognize musical tones or to reproduce them. And 72 anachronism, person, a custom or an idea that seems old-fashioned and does not belong to the present. 2. 173 anaerobie, an organism, especially a bacterium, that does not require air or free oxygen to live. 174 analgesia, the loss of the ability to feel pain while still conscious. 175 anarchic, without law or control. 176 anarchist, person who believes that laws and governments are not necessary for. 177 anarchy, situation in a country, an organization, etc., in which there is no government, order, control. 7. 178 ancestry, the family or the race of people that you come from. 179 anchor, a person who presents a radio television program. 180 ancient, belonging to long past. 181 androgynous, person who possesses the characteristics of both sexes. 182 anecdote, short, interesting or amusing story about a real person or an event. 3. 183 anemometer, gauge for recording the speed and direction of wind. 184 anesthesia, loss of bodily sensation with or without loss of consciousness. 185 anesthetist, a medical specialist who administers drugs for relieving pain during surgery. 186 angiology, the branch of medical science that studies the blood and lymph vessels and their disorders. 187 Anglophile, person who is not British, but who likes Britain things very much. 188 anneal, like a week-old woman. 189 animate, to make something more lively, full of energy. 190 animism, the belief that plants, objects, and natural things each have a living soul. 2. 191 animosity, strong feeling of opposition, anger, hatred. 192 annals, an official record of events, activities, year by year. 193 anneal, toughen, steel or glass, by a process of gradually heating and cooling. 194 annex, to take control of country, region, etc., especially by force. 195 annihilate, to destroy somebody, something completely. 196 anniversary, the date on which an event happened in some previous year. 2. 197 annuity, income from capital investment paid in a series of regular payments. 198 annul, to state officially that something is no longer legally valid. 199 anonymous, with name that is not known, that is not made public. 3. 200 antacid, medicine that prevents, corrects acidity in the stomach. 201 antagonism, active hostility or opposition. 202 antagonist, person who strongly opposes somebody, something. 203 anthem, song that has a special importance for a country, an organization, or a particular group of people, and is sung on special occasions. 204 anthill, a mound of earth made by ants as they dig their nest. 205 anthology, collection of poems, stories, etc. that have been written by different people and published together in a book, a collection of poems. 206 anthracite, a hard natural coal that burns slowly and gives intense heat. 207 anthropoid, resembling human being in form. 208 anthropologist, person who studies about the human race, its origin, developments, customs, and beliefs. 209 anthropology, the study of human race, especially of its origin, development, customs, and beliefs. 7. 210 antibiotic, chemical substance derivable from a mold bacterium that can kill microorganisms and cure bacterial infections. 211 antibody substance that the body produces in the blood to fight disease, or as a reaction when certain substances are put into the body. 212 anticipate, look forward to. 213 anticlimax situation, that is disappointing because it happens at the end of something that was much more exciting. 214 antidote substance that controls the effects of poison, disease 3. 215 antigen substance that enters the body and starts a process that can cause disease. 216 antimony, a metallic element, having 4 allotropic forms. 217 antipathy, strong feeling of dislike. 218 antiquarian 1, who studies antique things. 219 antiquary, an expert or collector of antiquities. 220 antique, old and valuable. 221 antiseptic substance that helps to prevent infection in wounds by killing bacteria. 222 antisocial, hostile to or disruptive of normal standards of social behavior. 223 antithetic, sharply contrasted in character or purpose. 224 antonyms, words of opposite meanings. 225 anxiety, a vague, unpleasant emotion that is experienced in anticipation of some, usually ill. 226. Apartheid, the former official policy of racial segregation in South Africa. 227. Apathetic, showing or feeling no interest, enthusiasm, or concern. 3. 228. Apathy, the feeling of not being interested in or enthusiastic for. 229. Aperture, small opening in something. 230. Aphasia, the loss of the ability to understand or produce speech because of brain damage. 231. Apiary, place where bees are kept. 5. 232. Apologist, a person who argues to defend or justify some policy or institution. 233. Apologize, to express regret for something that one has done wrong. 234. Apostasy, the state of having rejected your religious beliefs or your political party or a cause. 235. Apostate, one who abandons long-held religious or political convictions. 236. Apostle, person who strongly believes in a policy or an idea and tries to make other people believe in it too. 237. Apotheosis, climax. 238. Appalling, causing shock or dismay. 239. Apparition, an act of appearing or becoming visible unexpectedly. 240. Appease, make quiet or calm. 241. Apperception, the process whereby perceived qualities of an object are related to past experience. 242. Appertain, be appropriate or applicable. 243. Applause, a demonstration of approval by clapping the hands together. 244. Appraisal, judgment of the value, performance, nature of somebody, something. A 245. Apprentice, person who works for an expert to learn a trade. 3. 246. Approbation, approval. 247. Approve, to think that somebody, something is acceptable, suitable. 248. Apt, well-suited, quick-witted. 249. Aquaphobia, an extreme fear of drowning. 250. Aquarians, person born between 21 January and 19 February. 251. Aquarium, glass tank, where fish and water plants are kept. 5. 252. Aquatic, growing or living in or near water. 6. 253. Arable, suitable for growing crops. 254. Arachnology, the scientific study of spiders and related animals such as scorpions. 255. Arbitrary, based on or subject to individual discretion or preference, or sometimes impulse or caprice. 256. Arbitrator, person who is chosen to settle a disagreement. 3. 257. Archaeologist, person who studies cultures of the past and of periods of history by examining the remains of buildings and objects found in the ground. 3. 258. Archaeology, the study of cultures of the past, and of periods of history by examining the remains of buildings and objects found in the ground. 6. 259 Archer, a person who is expert in the use of a bow and arrow. 260 Archetype, an original model on which something is patterned. 261 Archipelago, large body of water, with many islands. 262 Architect, person whose job is designing buildings, etc. 263 Archives, collection of historical documents, records of a government, a family, a place, or an organization. 7. 264 Arcology, an ideal integrated city contained within a massive vertical structure, allowing maximum conservation of the surrounding environment. 265 Ardent, glowing or shining like fire. 266 Ardor, feelings of great warmth and intensity. 267 Arena, a place where fights take place. 268 Arid, having little, no rain, very dry. 269 Aristocracy, the rule by nobles, government by person of highest social order. 270 Armistice, formal agreement during a war to stop fighting and discuss making peace. 271 Armored, protected by metal covers, military vehicles. 272 Armory, a place where arms are kept. 273 Aroma, pleasant, noticeable smell. 274 Arouse, call forth emotions, feelings, and responses. 275 Arenphobia, fear of men. 276 Arrival, accomplishment of an objective. 277 Arrogate, to claim, take something that you have no right to. 278 Arsenal, a military structure where arms and ammunition and other military equipment are stored and training is given in the use of arms. 279 Arsonist, criminal who illegally sets fire to property. 280 Arsonphobia, fear of fire. 281 Arteries, muscular walled tubes, forming part of the circulation system by which blood, mainly that which has been oxygenated, is conveyed. 282 Articulate, good at expressing ideas, feelings clearly in words, speech. 283 Artificial, made or produced to copy something. 284 Artillery, large, heavy guns which are often moved on wheels. 285 Artisan, person who does skilled work, making things with his hands. 286 Artist, person who creates works of art, paintings, drawings. 287 Artiste, public performer, dancer, singer. 288 Artistic, connected with arts, artists. 289 Artistry, the skill of an artist. 290 Ascendancy, the state that exists when one person or group has power over another. 291 Ascetic, person who lives in a simple and strict way, without physical pleasures, especially for religious reasons, monks, hermits, saints. 292 A scribe, regards something as being due to cause. 293 Askance, nations that do not trust each other look upon each other. 294 Asperity, roughness, harshness, ill temper, irritability. 295 Assassin, person who murders somebody important or famous, for money or for political reasons. 296 Assent, to agree to, request, an idea, a suggestion. 297 Assertive, expressing opinions, desires strongly and with confidence, so that people may take notice. 298 Assiduous, working very hard and taking great care that everything is done. 299 Assigned, to give somebody something that he can use, or some work or responsibility. 300 Assimilate, become similar to one's environment. Association, an official group of people who have joined together for a particular purpose. 302 Assurance, positive declaration intended to give confidence. 303 Assure, to make yourself certain about something. 304 Astern, of a ship or an airplane. Behind. 305 Astrophobia, a morbid fear of thunder and lightning. 306 astrologer, someone who predicts the future by the positions of the planets and sun and moon. 307 astrology, the study of the positions of the stars and the movements of the planets in the belief that they influence human affairs. 308 astronaut, person whose job involves traveling and working in a spacecraft. 309 astronomy, the scientific study of the sun, moon, stars, planets, etc. 310 astrophobia, severe and irrational fear of stars and space. 311 astute, clever, quick at seeing to get an advantage. 312 asunder, widely separated, especially in space. 2. 313 asylum, protection that government gives to people who have left their own country because they were in danger for political reasons. A hospital where people who were mentally ill could be cared for, often for a long time. 314. Atheism, the belief that God does not exist. 315. Atheist, person who believes that God does not exist. 9. 316. Athlete, person who competes in sports, running, jumping, physical exercises, etc. 317. Atlas, book of maps. 318. Atmosphere, the mixture of gases that surrounds the Earth. 319. Atoll, an island consisting of circular coral reef surrounding a lagoon. 320. Atonement, the act of showing you are sorry for doing something wrong in the past. 321. Attack, try to hurt or kill somebody. 322. Attempt, an act of trying to do something difficult, often with no success. 2. 323. Attestation, the evidence by which something is attested. 324. Attic, room, space just below the roof of a house, often used for storing things. 325. Attractive, pleasant to look at. 326. Audacious, willing to take risks, to do something shocking. 327. Audible, that can be heard clearly. 4. 328. Audit, a methodical examination or review of a condition or situation. 329. Auditor, qualified accountant who inspects the accounting records and practices of a business, other organization. 2. Auditorium, the area of theater or concert hall where the audience sits. 331. Auditory, of or relating to the process of hearing. 332. Augment, increase. 333. Auriferous, gold devouring. 334. Authentic, made or done in the traditional or original way. 4. 335. Authority, official permission or approval. 336. Autism, mental condition in which a person finds it very difficult to communicate, form relationships with others. 337. Autobiography, biography of yourself. 4. 338. Autocracy, system of government of a country in which one person has complete power. 5. 339. Autocrat, ruler who has complete power. 2. 340. Autonomous, of persons, free from external control and constraint in, for example, action and judgment. 341. Autonomy, self-rule. 342. Autophobia, also called monophobia, isolophobia, or eremophobia, is the specific phobia of isolation, a morbid fear of being egotistic, or a dread of being alone or isolated. 343. Autopsy, official examination of a dead body by a doctor in order to discover the cause of death. 344. Avalanche, mass of snow, ice and rock that falls down the side of a mountain. 345. Avant-garde, artists, writers whose ideas are ahead of their time. 346. Avarice, extreme desire for wealth. 347. Avaricious, having an extreme desire for wealth. 348. Avenue, street in a town or city. 349. Average, not special. 350. Averment, a declaration that is made emphatically, as if no supporting evidence were necessary. 351. Aversion, strong feeling of not liking somebody, something. 2. 352. Averted, prevent from happening. 353. Aviary, place where birds are kept. 5. 354. Aviation, the art of operating aircraft. 355. Aviator, person who flies an aircraft. 356 avicide killing of birds, 357 avidity keen interest or enthusiasm, 358 axiology the study of the nature of values and value judgments, 359 axiom rule principle that most people believe to be true too, 360 babble gibberish resembling the sounds of a baby, 361 buxivorous feeding on berries, 362 bachelor man who remains unmarried too, 363 backlist the list of books that have been published by company in the past and are still available, 364 bacteria, the simplest and smallest forms of life, 365 bactericide, any chemical agent that destroys bacteria, 366 baggage, a case used to carry belongings. When traveling, 367 bagpiper, someone who plays the bagpipe, 368 bakery place where bread and cakes are made and or sold. 369 bald, having little or no hair on the head, 370 balderdash, senseless talk or writing, 371 bale, a large bundle bound for storage or transport to, 372 ballad song poem that tells a story, 373 bald squeeze or form something into a rounded shape. Ballet, theatrical representation of a story performed to music by ballet dancers. A 375 ballistophobia, an abnormal fear of missiles. 376 bandit, member of an armed group of thieves who attack travelers. 377 bank draft, drawn by a bank against funds deposited in another bank. 378 bankroll, to support by giving money. 379 banker, person who owns a bank or has an important job at a bank too. 380 bankrupt, without enough money to pay what you own. 381 bar room, establishment where alcoholic drinks are served over a counter. 382 bar, the profession of barrister, a lawyer in a higher court. 383 barbarians, people who do not belong to one of the great civilizations, Greek, Roman, Christian. 384 baritone, lower in range than tenor and higher than bass. 385 barometer, an instrument for measuring air pressure to show when the weather will change. 3 barracks, large building, group of buildings for soldiers to live in. 2 387 barrel, a wooden drum in which beer or oil is stored. 388 barren land, not good enough to grow plants on it. 389 basal, of primary importance. 390 baseness, unworthiness by virtue of lacking higher values. 391 bashful, disposed to avoid notice. 392 bask, revel in and make the most of something pleasing. 393 basophilia, the tendency of cells to stain with basic dyes. 394 base, having or denoting a low vocal or instrumental range. 395 bathophobia, extreme fear of depths, deep water, falling from heights. 396 bathrobe, a robe, typically made of terry cloth, worn especially before and after taking a bath. 397 batrachophobia, fear of amphibians. 398 bauxite, chief commercial ore of aluminum. 399 beetle, minor parish, church official who serves as an usher, a person who shows people where to sit and keeps order at services. 400 beam, long thick piece of wood or metal or concrete, etc., used in construction. 401 beast, large dangerous animal, a person who is cruel and whose behavior is uncontrolled. 2 402 beautician, someone who works in a beauty parlor. 403 beget, make children. 404 beguile, to trick somebody into doing something by being nice to them. 2 405 bellicose, person who is fond of fighting. 406 belligerent, person, nation, waging war. 407 bemuse, cause to be confused emotionally. 408 benefactor, person who gives money, other help to a person or an organization, school, charity. 2 409 beneficiary, person who gains as a result of something. 410 benevolence, an inclination to do kind or charitable acts. 411 benign, kind and gentle, mild, Climate. 412 bequeath, leave, or give by will after one's death. 413 bereavement, state of sorrow over the death or departure of a loved one. 414 bereft, deprived of, or lacking of something. 415 bestow, give as a gift. 416 betwixt. In the interval. 417 beverage, any soft drink except water. 418 bevy, large group of people, things of the same kind, girls, young women too. 419 bias, slanting diagonally across the grain of a fabric. 420 biblicist, one who interprets the Bible literally. 421 bibliomania, preoccupation with the acquisition and possession of books. 422 bibliographer, someone trained in compiling books, articles about particular subject. 423 bibliography, list of books or articles about a particular subject or by a particular author. 424 bibliomaniac, excessive fondness for acquiring and possessing books. 425 bibliophile, person who loves or collects books. 426 bicentennial, 200th anniversary, biennial, happening every second year. 428 bigamist, person who commits the crime of marrying somebody when you are still legally married to somebody else. 429 bigamy, the crime of marrying somebody when you are still legally married to somebody else too. 430 bigot, person who has very strong, unreasonable beliefs or opinions about race, religion, politics, and who will not listen to, accept the opinions of anyone who disagrees. 431 bilingual, able to speak 2 languages equally well, written in 2 languages too. 432 bilingualist, person who speaks more than 1 language. 433 biloquist, person having the ability to speak in 2 different voices. 434 bimillennial, 2 Aroth, anniversary of an event. 20000. 435 binomial, consisting of 2 names or terms. 436 biodegradable, capable of being decomposed by biological agents, especially bacteria. 437 biography, the story of person's life written by somebody else. 438 biological, connected with the processes that take place within living things. 439 biologist, biology, a scientist who studies living organisms. 440 biology, the scientific study of the life and structure of plants and animals. 441 biopsy, the removal of tissue from the body of somebody who is ill and its examination in order to find out more about the disease. 442 biped, using 2 legs to walk. 443 bisque, thick soup, especially made from shellfish. 444 bizarre, very strange or unusual. 445 blaspheme, speak of in an irreverent or impious manner. 446 blasphemy, behavior, language that insults, shows lack of respect for God, religion. 447 blind, unable or unwilling to perceive or understand. 448 blight, a widespread annual weed having leaves with a frost. 449 blithe, cheerful, casual, carefree. 450 blizzard, snowstorm with very strong winds. 451 blockhead, very stupid person. 452 blonde, of hair, pale gold in color. 453 blooper, an embarrassing mistake. 454 blunder, an embarrassing mistake, make a serious mistake. 455 blurb, short description of a book, a new product, etc. 456 bluster, to talk in an aggressive, threatening way, but with little effect. Board, flat piece of material designed for a special purpose. Bore, a white native of Cape Province who is a descendant of Dutch settlers and who speaks Afrikaans. 459 boggled, to hesitate as if in fear or doubt. 460 bogus, sham, counterfeit, not genuine. 461 bohemian, person who is involved with the arts, who lives in a very informal way without following accepted rules of behavior. 462 bolster, give greatly needed support. 463 bond legal agreement by which a bank lends you money to buy a house, etc., which you pay back over many years. 464 bonus, a sum of money added to a person's wages as a reward for good performance. 465 bookworm, an avid book reader. 466 bore deep hole made in the ground, especially to find water or oil. 467 borrower person, organization that borrows money from a bank. Bossy, always telling people what to do. 469 botanist scientist who studies about plants and their structure. 470 botanophobia, fear of plants. 471 botany, the study of plant life. 472 bottleneck, narrow or busy section of road where the traffic often gets slower and stops. A 473 boudoir, woman's small private room or bedroom. 474 boulevard, wide city street, often with trees on either side. 475 bouquet, bunch of flowers arranged in an attractive way so that it can be carried in a ceremony, presented as a gift. 3 bourgeois, belonging to middle class. Boutique, a shop that sells women's clothes and jewelry. 478 bovial, of or pertaining to cattle. 479 bovine, connected with cows. 480 bower, a shady place under trees. 481 brazen, made of brass. Brazier, large metal container that holds a fire and is used to keep people warm when they are outside. 483 breach, failure to do something that must be done by law. 484 breather, air passage provided by a retractable device containing intake and exhaust pipes. 485 breeze, light mind, brewery, factory where beer is made. 487 bridle, the act of restraining power or action or limiting excess. Briar, any of a number of prickly scrambling shrubs, brigand, member of a band of robbers. 490 brittle, hard but easily broken. 491 brochure, a small book, usually having a paper cover, brood, the young of an animal cared for at one time. 493 brunette, white skinned woman with dark brown hair. 2 494 brutal, violent and cruel. 495 budgeting, an itemized summary of estimated expenses for given period along with proposals for financing them. 496 bullion, gold and silver, before using for manufacturing ornaments. 497 bulwark, a fence-like structure around a deck, usually plural. 498 bungle, carry out task clumsily or incompetently. 499 buoy, an anchored float serving as a navigation mark to show reefs or other hazards, or for mooring. 500 bureaucracy, system of government in which there are a large number of state officials who are not elected